Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my beginner's guide on Arise crossover, guys. This is my second ever beginner's guide, so apologies for any mistakes and stuff like that, but I'll try my best to give you guys a concise beginner's guide. Once you start this game, there is no tutorial or anything as to how you actually play it, and that's why a lot of people are confused and asking to see a guide, right? So the first thing I'll tell you guys is this. When you start off, you'll notice there's a weapon shop here that you can talk to, and oh, by the way, I got my my little audio turned off, but you can talk to this weapon shop to buy weapons. It's gonna cost cash, okay? So you have two currencies in the game, cash and gems. Actually, three if you consider tickets a currency, but we'll get into that later on into the video. So in the beginning, you kind of want to go ahead and buy weapons. As you progress through the game, it's up to you if you really want to buy weapons or not. It's mostly your shadows that'll be doing the work, so it's up to you how you want to manage your gameplay. But every island, and currently there is a solo leveling city, which is this island. There is, let me look around, a Naruto island, which is the second island you should go to. There is a One Piece island, which is the third island you should go to. And eventually, let me go ahead and show you guys, back over here is a Bleach island. That is the last and most difficult island as of the recording of this video. There is an update, a big update planned for the 16th. There's a mini update planned for the 12th of March, that is, so that might change up. And there's a big question mark that you guys can see on your screen, but you know that I don't know how long that's going to be there. It's just Pyta letting you know, like a big Pyta NPC who's the owner of the game, letting you know when the next update is coming out. So like I told you, every one of those islands is going to have a weapon shop with different weapons, okay? Every island is also going to have a spawn point that you can interact to and spawn, okay? So those are the constants between islands and stuff like that. Now, beyond that, you guys will see that you'll have NPCs that you can attack. So I have a game pass that automatically rises my shadows and attacks, okay? That's not free. That's going to be in the Game Pass shop, okay? So you guys can buy whatever Game Passes you want, and I guess, you know, fair game to you if you get it. I don't get 2x gems because right now gems are only used for the purchase of boats, and we will get into that when we start talking about mounts. But like I said, now that we talked about the continents, which is weapon shops, the spawns, and the islands, and in the order in which you want to tackle the islands, let's talk about the actual gameplay experience. Yo, thank you, brother. This guy's a big fan. So as you guys can see in your UI, you have a couple of different buttons. You have auto arise, weapon, punch, dash, mount, and auto click. Auto click, auto arise are free. The most important things that you want to pay attention to, in my opinion, are auto arise and in the settings, auto destroy. Okay, this is going to be off by default. You can only have auto arise or auto destroy on at a time. So you're either going to be arising shadows as you defeat enemies or destroying said enemies to get gems. Okay, so let me show you guys what I mean. When I go ahead and attack an NPC, which by the way, you have to click on an enemy to send your shadows to attack it or for you to attack it yourself with the auto click function. So like I mentioned, once you kill off an NPC, you have two options. You have 3 chances to either arise a shadow out of the NPC or 3 chances to subsequently also instead get some gems. So you see, these NPCs only give us 1 gem. So early on, gems are going to be very difficult to get, but as you guys can tell, I have 53 million gems. They're not that hard to get in the Bleach Island and in subsequent islands. It's just starting off, it might be a little bit of a tedious grind for them. It's up to you what you want to do. Every single NPC that you kill on any of these maps, as it is right now, is going to be an E rank. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what I mean. If you guys take a look at my inventory, I have S ranks, okay? And an E rank and a B rank. These are bosses that you get as drops from killing them, or not really drops, but killing them and attempting to arise them and successfully arising them from dungeons. And we'll get into dungeons in just a second, but we'll focus on the rarities and ranks and stuff right now for the game itself. Like I said, guys, any NPC, no matter what island you go to, you kill it, you arise it, it's going to be an E rank. It's important to note that in the top right hand corner, you have an index button. And if you don't see that, you can literally go into your shadows and there will be an index button in there. This index button is very useful because as you successfully defeat an NPC and also arise it, you have to arise it. If you don't arise an NPC and just destroy them from gems, you won't be able to get them in your index. You have to successfully arise a shadow out of that NPC for it to be in your index. as these NPCs get into your index, you can type in whatever rank. The current max rank in the game right now is SS, okay? So you guys can go ahead and type in SS just to see, let's say if this guy were to be level 200, how much damage would he be doing? And there you go. And I think SS max level is 250. Let me just make sure. Oh no, it's 200. Okay. So you guys can type that in. Doesn't matter what you type in here. It'll default to the max level if you don't know the specific level that you want to see the stats for. So this is very useful for you guys to see, well, you know, at B rank, like what is the max level for B rank? 125. At B rank, this unit is going to be doing this amount of damage. So it's good for you guys to go through your index and see if and when dungeons spawn, if it's worth it for you to do a dungeon. Now you might be wondering, Vex, like, what are you talking about, brother? You talking about dungeons? What do you mean? The game has dungeons? Yeah, the game's dungeons are the equivalent of gates. So typically, gates will spawn like right around up here. They spawn like in different places on an island, and they spawn every 30 minutes. So at every 00 of an hour, like once a new hour starts, there'll be a spawn for a gate or a dungeon. At every half an hour of that hour, there will be another dungeon, and it literally repeats the entire time. Now, these are constant gates. What I mean by that is that, rather, should I say they're global? What I mean by that is that literally, if a gate spawn here, let's say, for example, at 8 p.m. at night, it'll spawn everywhere in every single server at 8 p.m. at that same exact time for the same exact rating. So every gate rarity ranking is global. As an example of the gates UI, let me go ahead and show you guys basically when I was recording a video on this very island. As you guys can see, I was dashing, going through it, and there's the portal, right? So that's how gates are going to look like. And like I just told you, for the solo leveling area, they tend to spawn on here, but it's random. If you guys want the easiest way to find out where gates are going to be at, just join the game's Discord server. There's literally a tab there that tells you what rarity, where they spawn, and all that stuff. So once you go up to a gate, it'll show you all the possible rewards. You can get a very specific unit or shadow for it, in this case, which is oGVexx for the solo leveling gate / dungeon. You can get some gems, you can get some tickets, which we'll get into right after we finish talking about gates. I held off purposely on talking about tickets because it has to do with gates, right? So you also get the chance to get some items as well and things of that nature. And then you'll see the rank at the very bottom over here. This happens to be, a rank C gate. Every gate, when it opens, I believe it has around like 13-15 minutes to be open. Once you successfully get into a gate, you guys will see that the gate, like for example, for Solo Leveling City, is the train station, and you have to go through multiple like rooms and stages of enemies, and eventually you will reach the end of it, which will be the boss chambers. But this is literally how it looks like when you get into a dungeon. Once you're in here, this is how you guys will have access to better shadows beyond the E rank. Because remember what I told you before, right? If you guys are out and about and killing whatever NPC on whatever island, it could be the last island or whatever, as it is right now, they will all be E rank. The only way for you to get a higher rank shadow than E rank is to do dungeons. So obviously, if all you have are E rank shadows, you want to try to find D rank, C rank, B rank, A rank, S rank, double S rank eventually. You know what I mean? Like that's the order of sequence that you want to go, and you just want to be looking around whenever the dungeons or dates actually spawn in to see if it's worthwhile for you to tackle it and try to get some new shadows. Now, if you go into your inventory, beyond being able to see your weapons, you can also see items. Right now, tickets are the only thing that I have in my inventory as items, and items, like I said, you can get them as drops from, or for example, these tickets from successfully, doing dungeons and things of that nature. So you might be wondering, what do I use tickets for? Well, if you go into the shop, this game has a decent amount of stuff that you can buy, but you can literally click ticket shop in the bottom left-hand corner of this UI, and it'll convert things to ticket currency. Tickets are your free-to-play way to purchase game passes and other premium currencies in the game. So that's literally what they're used for. Now, it's also a good time to show you guys codes, right? Because they have the codes UI right over here. The only code that you guys will be able to use if you're not a tester, alpha tester, or content creator is going to be beta in all caps. Okay, you'll get some basic rewards for that, so just be sure to use beta in all caps. As it is right now, codes are few and far in between. I'm not gonna lie to you, they really don't put out a lot of codes. I don't know if that'll change, but again, just use this beta code before it expires. So with that being said, we're gonna talk about the last NPC that is on every island as well, which is a boat shop. Okay, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but there's a certain way I wanted to cover things. So now that you know how to rise up your shadows, get your weapons, set your spawn points, go to dungeons, you want to know how to get to the other islands. So to start things off, you'll have this boat shop here on the solo leveling island, and as you can see, you can spend some cash or buy your first boat for gems. It's up to you how you want to go about it. You might not have enough gems honestly on your first island, so you might want to go for a cash boat. It's up to you. But as it is right now, gems usefulness is only for boats in the game, unless they add other features into the game in another update. I don't know, but for now, gems are only used for purchasing the premium version of boats on each island. So every island will have different boats. Now, like I said, when you get your first boat, or when you're done with this island, you feel like, yo, you know what? I think I'm strong enough. Go to Naruto, right? The Ninja Island, or whatever it's called in this game, Grass Village, I think they call it in this game. That is your first island after, successfully completing solo leveling. So that's how you get boats. Now, I know you guys saw me using a mount, a flying mount. Mounts are a little bit tough to get in this game. I'm not gonna lie, they're not super tough. But if you guys look at the chat, look, a dungeon just spawned, by the way, in solo leveling city. So it's a good time for me to show you guys. Look, I have a different mount now. I'm gonna explain the mounts as well, but it's a good time for me to show you guys exactly where these gates can spawn in. And remember, I told you guys, they're not always in the same place, but they tend to spawn right up here. So this time, this dungeon spawned in right over here. So let's go ahead and show you guys what rarity is. It's a C rank rarity. And again, you can see the rewards over here as well. But like I told you guys, we were talking about mounts, right? So mounts are not that difficult to get. They are kind of, but not really that difficult. If you're in a private server, they're really easy. So if you look at your chat box, you see that it says every so often, a wild mount has appeared. When a wild mount appears, that means that it's a mount that you can actually go ahead and claim. There are different types of mounts. If you click the mount button over here, you guys can see you have ground mounts, aquatic mounts, which are your boats, and flying mounts, which is like the dragon that I showed you guys. This game is cool in the sense that literally if you're on the ground, it'll use your ground mount. If you're in the air or jump up, it'll literally use your flying mount. If you're in the water and you're swimming, it'll use your well, it should be using my boat. Oh, there actually there it is. There's my boat. So literally you press the M key if you're on PC to spawn your mount, but you have, obviously UI dedicated to that as well. So that's a quick and easy way to use mounts. Just be sure that to always go in here and actually equip the mount that you want to use, either on water, ground, or flying. Now let me actually go ahead and show you guys the location of where these mounts could spawn, because the game will tell you in the chat box a wild mount has appeared, but you guys might be wondering, like, where exactly are the mounts? You can actually see off in the distance there's a small island. So I think there are a total of 6 different spawn locations for the mounts. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to check all 6 spawn locations because it's random where it appears between those 6 locations. So this is coming directly from the game's Trello. This is the easiest graphic, I guess you can say, that I can utilize to show you guys the spawn locations. Obviously, where these different areas, like this is the One Piece area, the Ninja Village, etc, and this is how they spawn in. But if you guys want me to show you in game, because that graphic is not that great, if you think that, I'm gonna go ahead and make my way down to this little island that I showed you guys, just so you guys can see how it looks. So the easiest way for me to also describe this to you guys is that behind every island there will be one of these mounds where a mount can spawn. So that's 3, right? Because there's 3 different islands. Now in between them, like, there'll also be other ones. So right now, again, 3 islands, 3 additional locations, so 6 in total. So what's really cool is that it's really hard for you to see it on video, but you can actually see, like, you see over here, there's another mound. So literally you can travel to this one straight across, and as you guys can see, it's going to be another mound where another mount is able to spawn. So again, if you look really closely at your screen, you'll see that you can just see them. You can barely see them, but you'll be able to see them. So that's how you get mounts, guys. Again, it's very tedious if you're in a public server because everybody's gonna be running for them. But if you're in a private server, it's pretty easy to get your mounts. So with that being said, guys, obviously I didn't cover the other options on the UI, which is just punch, but they're self-explanatory. Dashing for dashing, right, when you're going around. Arising to bring your shadows up and not up. You know what I mean? Like, they're pretty self-explanatory UI. That's why I didn't cover it. Now, I'm in the Bleach Island, which is the last island, because I wanted to show you guys that basically every island is going to progress the same. When you get to an island, you'll have weak NPCs, medium NPCs, and then like boss type NPCs or just strong type NPCs. So the bigger NPCs are the boss variant of whatever smaller NPC is there. So Byakuya, that's his regular pose, and then that's his boss pose, right? Uryu is here. There's a big Uryu in the corner. They also have a big Renji because they have small Renjis. So again, every island is going to be like that. Like for example, in this island, it goes from Uryu to Renji to Byakuya, right? That's how it goes. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning that to you guys is because once you get your like shadow army up and going, right? Like once you have your E ranks, your C ranks, whatever rank shadows you have, you might be wondering like, Vex, like how do I level them up? Like what's the best leveling strategy? Honestly, for me, bro, it's between the weakest and medium units. Like obviously you'll be able to defeat the weakest units on an island if you're strong enough to do that, of course. So I always, no matter what, like even with my S ranks, I got my S ranks to their max level by killing Uryus, and then once they were strong enough, I killed the boss version of Uryu. It's just the fastest way. Killing the mediums can be a little bit better because of the XP that you get per kill if you're adequately leveled and strong enough. But just the difficult enemies, like the hardest enemies, they're not worth it to kill in my opinion, unless it's just like you're that strong. And you can go back to a previous island, but it's always just that strategy. So, but that is pretty much gonna sum this up, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this beginner guide. Let me know how you liked it, if you want to see me do this on other games as they come out, because I typically don't do these, but yeah, I can definitely do them for you guys if you want to see it. Let me know if it helped you guys. Drop a like on the video one last time. I'll catch you guys later.